All right, there we are. My bad. All right, you guys. I'm Nickolas Wildstar, candidate for California governor here. What's up? What's up? I'm actually live streaming across multiple platforms right now. I have Instagram right here in my front on my phone in front of me, so I'm broadcasting live on Instagram. So what's up to all my Instagram family members out there, and to all of you people out here that are watching on YouTube and Facebook. I appreciate you for being here as well. So, what's up to all of you? Thank you for being here. Um, this is actually my first time doing such a thing. So, bear with me if I have any technical difficulties or may seem a little bit rusty and, broadcasting as such. But as I said, this is my first time doing this like this, but I plan on doing more and focusing on single issue topics to discuss with you guys about my campaign for governor. Hopefully, we can talk a bit more about these issues, and give you guys a bit more scope. Well, let me fix that. All right, hold on. I'm having issues with Facebook, YouTube view. All right. There we go. All right. Well, is it fixed? I'm trying to fix it, y'all. But it's not trying to go along with the program here. Come on. I got a green screen for you people watching on Instagram. I got a green screen and it's having lighting issues. All right, there we go. So if you want all the bells and whistles with all of the green screen activity, that even though it's a static screen right now, and I got what is it, banners and all sorts of good stuff on Facebook and YouTube. So all you people that are watching out there on Instagram, if you want to see all that good stuff, head on over and follow me on those platforms. Okay, but like I said, I want to focus more so on single issues to talk to you guys about. That way we can go more in depth about them. Hold on, I got somebody. I got Gia. Gia, you want to go live with me? Hold on. Let's see what Gia is talking about. Hold on. I got somebody. Oh, Jeffrey said it looks good on Facebook, Instagram. Hold on, I got Gia right here. What's up, Gia? How you doing? Hey. And for all you people watching on Facebook and YouTube, you missing me out here on Instagram. I got Gia right here. She's enjoying a beautiful day at the beach, it looks like. Is that where you are?
No, just in my house.
Oh, really? All right. That's right. Making a vacation wherever you are. All right. She got the pool, too. Hey, I'm coming to visit you soon, okay?
You guys are always welcome to join me.
Oh, God bless you.
We'll have a barbecue.
All right. Thank you. We'll be there soon. So how you doing, Gia?
Doing great.
Well, thank you for jumping in this live chat. I was actually about to start talking about foster care awareness because it's Foster Care Awareness Month, and I believe it's an issue that gets overlooked by the voters of California, as well as, of course, the politicians. But it's something that needs to be addressed because a lot of people suffer because of it, and especially the taxpayers. We're throwing money at this situation, thinking it's being well spent, and we know, of course, it isn't. So how do we fix the problem? First, we got to realize it is a problem and what those problems are and how we can go about fixing it. So, yeah.
That's a pretty great topic. I'm actually, my husband came from a family who was a foster family for 30 years. They had hundreds of boys in their home over that 30 years, and they personally legally adopted 24 boys and one girl. Wow.
That's quite a big family. And your husband is a great guy. So for him to come from a foster family and, be such a well put together fellow as he is, I must say that it definitely has an opportunity to make a lot of people's lives better, and create an opportunity for people to have a family that were robbed of that, for whatever reason, whether it be a death of, one of their parents or even some sort of other type of displacement to where now they're no longer with their biological parents, you know? Um, yeah, so I thank you very much for sharing your story, Gia, because like I said, a lot of people just need to start hearing more about the system itself and those people involved with it. That way we know what issues with the system that we know actually what to address. So children are so important. People are so important. Who knew? Yeah. I got some comments. Robert is in the house. He says hello. But did you want to say anything else about the situation?
Yeah. So, what is foster care awareness? What is the goal?
So foster care awareness is, you know, another one of those months like, you know, breast cancer awareness or child abuse awareness or whatever. The goal for the month of foster care awareness, which is the month of May. So nationally is recognized as Foster Care Awareness Month. I guess people wear like a light blue ribbon to bring attention to the issue. But that's more so what it's about, to bring attention to the failures of the foster care system, how, of course, we can make it better through policy and with more understanding in the community of how it works and how it could be beneficial, especially those people that have concerns over abortion. You know, I actually have a letter here I was going to read from a young lady who I met while I was running for mayor. So I didn't share this with you guys until now, but I wanted to read it to you guys. You can tell me what you think, you know? All right, so here goes. Hello, my name is Emily. As a current foster youth, I'm here to advocate for not only myself and the foster youth in Fresno, California, but for every single foster child in the system throughout our country. I'm grateful to be here to share my experience and hope that my story will empower and encourage our future mayor to make substantial change in real time, contributing to our foster care system. This again was when I was running for mayor of Fresno, so that's why. Which is another heartbreaking thing because I get, you know, contacted about situations like this. And as much as I want to do something, my hands get tied when I lose. You know, it's like running for governor. You know, I get contacted by people by email saying they're dealing with legal issues and they need help. And I'm like, hey, I'm only a candidate right now. There's only so much I can do. But I get elected. Trust me, I'll do a lot more. But she continues on. I say our, meaning our foster care system, because the system belongs to us, the youth. I believe our foster care system should serve and protect the youth and have the youth's best interest in mind when making decisions for them, during their stay and care. Yet so many times this kind of compassion and basic human kindness is absent. I came into the system voluntarily when I was 6.5 months pregnant because I thought our foster care system would be able to provide the resources my daughter and I needed to thrive in a healthy and safe environment. After only 2 months after I had given birth to my daughter, she was taken after I had been victimized while being in placement that was supposed to be keeping me safe. In my group home, I had been beaten up, yet it was okay to make me the victim out to be the perpetrator. I'm not sure there if I said that correctly. It was okay to tear my child from me without understanding or knowing what had happened to me. Lack of education or just plain out favoritism of the youth by staff led staff to tell officers that night that there was no other group home in Fresno that my daughter and I could go to. So the officers had taken me to juvie. They even told me while I was in booking that I could have been put in another group home with my daughter, but there wasn't one, so I had to be there. This was the information given to them by the group home, yet this was a lie. I was placed in a group home for teen mothers and their babies less than a day later. This whole situation could have been avoided if only supervisors in the group home could have had compassion for the youth as they do for themselves. During this horrifying attack on me, my daughter was in my room asleep, unharmed, and I was in the living room when this happened to me. The court reports state that I was in failure to protect my child because I was taken into juvie and there was no one taking care of my daughter. Yet I was only taken to juvie because of lack of knowledge of group home staffers' behalf. I've currently completed my services to reunify with my daughter, yet we can't even be reunited due to lack of room for my daughter in the group home that I'm placed in. The system I voluntarily came into to give my daughter the healthiest possible and happiest life has failed me as it has done to many others. I believe group home staff need training on what working in a home for children who don't have a home actually means, because so many times people who are not qualified end up in children's lives and make decisions that dramatically change these children's lives forever. I will never get those months with my newborn daughter that were robbed from me back ever again. I feel there will never be justice for what happened to my daughter, Rosalina, and I. Yet, when policies are put into place to protect, serve, and have the best interests for foster youth in mind, and to make the foster care system a healthier and happier place for future and current foster youth, it will be at peace. So it's heartbreaking to read that story. I actually, when I read it the first time, I cried. Because it's very heartbreaking to hear such a situation from a young person who is, again, depending on the system. I don't know what the situation was with, her and her home when maybe your parents found out she was pregnant and kicked her out or whatever.
It must have been so much worse than what she was getting herself into.
Exactly.
It must have been so much worse. And it sounds like she was really young when she got pregnant. She didn't have any family to help. So it sounded like where she came from, it was probably really the worst possible home you could be from.
Right.
So then she chose to go into a government home thinking that the government would take care of her, and now she's another victim of government.
Exactly. And it's sad that not only is she another victim of government, but so is her child,
Yep.
who was robbed away from critical months with her mother, as a newborn. You should, all mothers out there know that those first few months with your child is very critical, so you can create that bonding experience. Not only that, but they need breast milk to, live. So if she's not there to feed for the child, then they're now feeding her Similac or some other type of synthetic type of nutrition. But it's sad that, again, like you said, she escaped the situation she thought was worse to go and do something that she thought would help her, and it ended up making things even worse. That's sad, because for somebody to want to make that decision, number one, to turn to the government for support takes a lot of humility, just as a person, and especially as a parent, to say, hey, I need help raising my child. Can you help me? It takes a lot of putting aside of pride to do that, no matter what the person's age may be.
That just shows how sweet and innocent and naive she was, that she actually thought that the government was there to help her.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of people are right now. They are so naive and sweet that they think that the government's primary function is to help people.
Right.
And what she learned the hard way is that the worst sentence you could ever hear is that I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah, we're hearing that too much, unfortunately.
And then how do you get out of that? How do you get out of the system? Now, those are the truest heroes of all, are people who get out of the system and never get back in.
Exactly. And it sounds like she's going to be caught up in it for quite some time, with having.
But she wants out, and that's the biggest. I think she's going to be okay.
Right.
Because she realizes the failures of the system and she wants out. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I pray for her, and I don't know what's going on with her now because I haven't been in communications with her, but I hope the best for her and her daughter. And this happened right before this pandemic hit. Who knows what type of conditions that she's in, or anybody else, any young parent that, again, is doing their best to make ends meet and take care of their children right now. Even those people of the working class that are dealing with a hard time, maybe loss of work, loss of income, and are doing their best to make sure they're providing for their family.
Did you know that I got pregnant at 17?
You what again?
I got pregnant at 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize that I'm actually younger than people think, because
I was going to say, you look 17 yourself.
I actually got pregnant at 17 with Trevor, and now my son is older than I was when I had him.
Wow.
And I'm raising an adult man now, and it's a completely different relationship than when you have a child. Is how do you communicate with your adult?
Yes.
With your adult child in your home, and it's going really great. But the point of this is that as a 17-year-old girl who was pregnant and had a baby at 18 years old, the first thing I think that people will tell you is you have to get on welfare.
Right. Right.
And that is the thing that will keep you in poverty.
Yeah.
And if you accept this subsidy from the government, you are beholden to them. And every time you start to do better, they take away from you. And so it's an incentivizer to be basically it's generational poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Generational poverty is what this creates. And luckily, I was able to find work and get my way out of it. But no, it was really hard, and there were so many times where I thought, what am I supposed to do? And there isn't enough resources. Well, you know what? I wouldn't say there isn't enough resources. There are resources for young girls in this situation, but everybody tells you, oh, you have to rely on the government, and they're there to help you. And honestly, it's the worst trap you can get yourself into. And I would like to see that there would be more nonprofits and more personal charities and fundraisers to help these young women who get themselves in situations, and they just need a little bit of a leg up for a short period of time.
Right. Well, the one thing I've come to learn about a lot of these nonprofit organizations that are supposedly there to help the community is they're also dependent on the government for funding, so they're subsidized by taxpayers in order to provide, support to those in need. But if the government funding isn't there for whatever reason, then their hands are tied. And
right.
The same thing with these private charities is if they don't get enough donors providing, contributions, then they only have so much to spend on resources as well. So, like I said,
yeah, that is actually a really great point. Is a lot of the charities that I did encounter were also charities that were faith-based, and while I don't have a problem with that, it's I would say, as a person who wants to maintain their autonomy, you shouldn't have to also swallow indoctrination in
exactly.
order to achieve the basic sustenance that you need to survive.
Yeah.
So I was also somehow able to stay out of those organizations that were also, I would say, really working hard to attract people like me. We'll help you with childcare. We'll help you with housing. And it's like, no, then you're beholden to these people as well.
Exactly.
I would really like to see more things like, have you heard of Apogee in Roseville in Cedar Park?
No, I have not.
So these are youth mentorship programs where the primary function is teaching kids young adults resilience, grit, self-perseverance. It's basically no one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself, and then it's your duty to take care of others.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Teaching personal responsibility needs to be something that's taught at a very young age. Unfortunately, you have a lot of these government programs in the system itself that is based on coddling. They want to have us dependent on government for support, and we shouldn't be, So.
Cradle to grave.
Exactly. I'm glad that programs like that do exist, but we definitely need to have them be more readily available. like you said, that's actually another great point, is the qualifying factors. I shouldn't have to be a member of your church just to, get help from you. But a lot of faith-based organizations do make that a requirement, or you have to go through a certain amount of courses before you can receive assistance. So they just make it more hoops to jump through when the person is in dire need, and like I said, with right now with this coronavirus crisis, we shouldn't be dangling carrots over people's heads.
That is absolutely the most ridiculous thing I'm witnessing right now. Giving people, I think, lap dances
in
Las Vegas.
Yes. I mean, Newsom is the king of it. You can't see. I got a green screen on the Facebook and YouTube, but I got Gavin Newsom behind me looking sinister as ever. But yeah, he's just throwing away freebies right now, money to pay for people monthly, monthly stimulus payments, and what is it? Paying off people's tickets, parking tickets and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, no focus on helping families, and especially our children, who are suffering tremendously because of this.
But not his kids.
Of course, not his kids. They went to private school this entire time, so they got to continue in school education studies, while a lot of people, the majority of parents had to be forced to homeschool, which is funny because that used to be some crazed, wacko, survivalist type of thing, but now it's embraced, so it's
We all became homeschool parents.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, even myself. So
That's right.
I don't want to talk too long about the issue and hold you up too long, but I do appreciate you jumping into the session. I wasn't expecting that, y'all. But Gia Christopher, you got elected recently in the position in the LP, right? What are you now?
I am now the Northern Area Coordinator for the Libertarian Party of California.
Woo! Did y'all hear that, y'all? The Northern Area Coordinator for the LP of California. Y'all can hit up Gia Christopher. She is a wonderful woman. I met her during my time with the Libertarian Party, and I'll be back one of these days. But in the meantime, I appreciate you being here with me, Gia. God bless you and your family.
Take care, and I look forward to you, your wife, and your lovely little son coming and having some barbecue with us up at my
You got it. We'll be there soon. Take care until then.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. I just wrapped up my live with Gia Christopher, who I was not expecting to jump into the session on discussing foster care reform, because it is much needed right now. I got you guys still with me. I appreciate it. But like I said, we definitely need to focus on doing something about our foster care system, not only for those who are in it, but for those who are paying for it. As taxpayers, I feel like we need to take some responsibility for what our elected officials are doing with our money, because we're giving it to them to do a job. And if they're failing at doing that job, we need to either A, take our money back, or 2, fire their ass and get somebody better in there who will do the job right. And that's why I'm running for governor of California, because it's time to fire his ass. He hasn't been doing his job right. We, the people, have been holding him responsible for his failures. Thanks to this recall, now we've collected enough signatures to get him out of office. So if you want to help in that effort, please, let me see if I can do this. I'm looking around stuff. Please help me replace him as the next governor of California. Head on over to taxationistheft.info. My man, Taxation is Theft, Dan Berman, who is running for governor of Texas, is selling his Taxation is Theft merchandise to help get the message out there. So if you want to help him, help me, help the cause, help advance liberty, and get the message of Taxation is Theft out there, then head on over to the website. You can sign up for the newsletter and get 10%. And then you can also get an additional 10% by entering my code right there, down at the bottom of the screen, which is Go Wild 2022. So if you want to get 20% collectively off of that purchase from taxationistheft.info, be sure to enter Go Wild 2022 and sign up for the newsletter, okay? Also, head on over to nugofknowledge.com and enter the code WILDSTAR. All of you hemp smokers out there, if you want to, again, make a contribution to the cause of liberty, make a contribution to my campaign, get something in return, and do something good for the community, then definitely head on over to nugofknowledge.com. Every purchase goes to help research more into cannabis advancement, laws that are targeting people and putting into jail for victimless crimes. So we definitely want to reform our criminal justice system and other states that have not done so just yet. So prohibition is real, and it's against the hemp industry or cannabis industry. But hemp is legal in all 50 states. So wherever you are in America, you can, buy hemp. So head on over to nugofknowledge.com. You know what I'm saying? Pick any one of these wonderful products, CBD products, very high in potency. Enter code WILDSTAR and get a discount on your purchases, okay? I'm also on still fighting the criminal justice system here in California, so I can make sure that the people of California have their right to record in court. That's exactly what I'm doing. Head on over to my GoFundMe, Free Wildstar on GoFundMe. I'm still appealing the charges for my conviction for recording in court. If indeed I am vindicated, then that means that everybody in the state of California will have their constitutional right to record in court protected. So we want to make sure that we, again, are protecting our rights, protecting our Constitution, and holding our government officials accountable. So you can help me in that effort by heading on over to GoFundMe.com and GoFundMe.com Free Wildstar and making a contribution today. It's been a while since I said all of these damn websites. So bear with me for the flubs. Anyways, next, of course, like I said, head on over to recallgavin2020.com. Help we, the people of California, get rid of gruesome Newsom, okay? We've collected enough signatures to have that recall election. Right now, it's going through a signature verification process, but once that has been declared, which will most likely happen sometime early June, then we, the people of California, will be able to recall our governor. So we'll be asked two questions. One, would you like to recall Gavin Newsom? Two, who would you like to replace him with? So, of course, vote yes on number one, recall Gavin Newsom, and vote Wildstar for governor on question number two. But first, we got to make sure that we get the word out there and let everybody know to remove Gavin Newsom and why they should. So get involved in that effort by heading on over to recallgavin2020.com and find out more on what you can do to spread the message, okay? And also head on over to my website, wildstar2022.com. Fill out one of these pledge cards so you can join Team Wildstar and help me bring back liberty to the state of California. I need volunteers. I'm a grassroots candidate. Don't have major funding from special interest groups or big bank or big pharma or big money at all, okay? All my money for my campaign is coming from people like you, we the people. So if you want to keep that grassroots funding going, please make a contribution today by heading on over to my website, wildstar2022.com, and give whatever you can to help us bring back liberty to the state of California, okay? All right, so thank you all for your time. Thank you for being here. As I said, will hopefully be first of many more topical discussions to come. I'll be rolling them out as I can since my schedule does fluctuate. I wish I could say it's going to be at a set time and day each and every week or whatever the case may be, but you never know with these days what's going on. So just stick with me by heading on over to my website, wildstar2022.com. Of course, be sure to join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, by hitting any of those social media icons on my website and follow me, okay? Let's grow our audience and expand to others and grow our platform together, okay? And also be sure to subscribe if you're out there watching on YouTube. Be sure to hit that bell and subscribe so you can stay in the loop on future videos, not only impromptu ones like this, but other ones that are going to be more scheduled, and even debates like the Yes California debate this Sunday, okay? This Sunday, the Yes California debate. They'll be having a second debate, which I'll be participating in. So be sure to check that out, share that, get it out there. The mainstream media isn't going to talk about it because it doesn't include any of the candidates that they want us to talk about. So please help spread the message by sharing that video, sharing this one, and just sharing the word of liberty, okay? Thank you all for your time, and may the light of God and liberty shine on each and every one of you. Till next time.